Hello and welcome to the SC Playbook podcast out of NRL Supercoach Round 17. Proudly brought to you by Morgan's Choice SCW. I'm your host, Tim Williams, and ladies and gentlemen, life is good for a number of reasons. Not only because the Stallions have finally found a bit of a ticker after a slow start, not just because we get to wake up to World Cup masterclasses from Mbappe and Messi and Haaland and all of this good stuff going on there, but because we've got a full round of rugby league fixtures. 8 games this week. It feels like it's been ages. It hasn't really been that long, but geez, it's good to have 8 games back on our screens this week. Here to try and find a bit of Supercoach insight, a bit of knowledge for us this week. The very high flying SC Spy. Spy, how are you, mate?
I feel like very high flying's top 1,000, but yeah, I'm into 1,700th.
High flying compared to where you were 2 months ago.
38,000th, yes. You're right in that. And as you said, footy back this weekend. Me and the young fella do the 6 o'clock game in the man cave every Friday. We haven't had it for a few weeks, so it'd be good to get back down there, throw some footies and man out. And I also prepared a heap of notes on Messi, but it's the wrong podcast. But how good is that bloke going?
Do you man out? Do you man out or do you bro down with the young fella?
It depends on the mood.
Yeah. Friday 6 p.m.'s man out.
Everything's down for options, but yeah. No, mate, going well. And spent Sunday Arvo. One of my oldest, best mates came over from Perth, and I spent the Arvo eating, drinking cocktails, and watching Sue Farlongo line up as my captain. So it was pretty bloody good going.
Yeah, you're welcome for that also. Bit of a bum steer, some might say.
Whoa, that chair's a bit dodgy. No, I had it on him. I was just clarifying with you. So you gave me just, the thumbs up I needed.
Yeah, okay, well, you're welcome.
And when you said, who else would you do? I was like, yeah, there's no one left, so it has to be him.
Also with us today, hopefully someone a little bit more grateful. The bloke I tried to bum steer into Sue Farlongo, he didn't listen to me. He didn't listen to him. He didn't listen to himself. It's former champion Des Creek, who this time last week said, I know Sue Farlongo is a better move, but I'm going to go turbo anyway. Dezzy, how are you?
Yeah, about 70 points behind you blokes. I think you both scored about 1,370. I got about 1,300, so still got green arrows, even without Sue. That's how good my team is looking.
Who was your captain?
Herbie.
Herbie. Still
always. It's just going to be Herbie every week. He's unstoppable.
Can't afford those 70 points, mate, the way we're going, so that's all right.
Yeah.
Keep pushing that.
I'm not high flying like you, not low flying either. Just kind of drifting along like a hot air balloon.
Cruising at mid-altitude.
Yeah, like a hot air balloon, just moving sideways.
Dezzy, where do we... What do we define 1,379 points as a rank change of 2,494 up to 6,100 overall? What do we call that?
Pretty bloody good.
Low flying.
It's not high flying.
Nah.
Yeah, it's 6,000. You can do better than that.
No, but we're finding some rhythm.
That's popping the hot air balloon and it's going mad.
Yeah.
Just getting excited.
Yeah. No, you're like a kite. Still holding onto the string.
Ready to be unleashed.
Yeah. We're on the move. We're making some moves after a slow start here. So into tick over 6K overall, the Stallions are captainer of Sue Farlongo against my beloved Raiders. So very happy about it. Also with us today, as always, Matty the Waterboy. Matty, how are you, mate?
Oh, I could be better with Latrell being ruled out again. That's ruined my week. The double blow, South and New South Wales. But is what it is.
I'd say getting concerning, but it's been concerning for a fair while now, Matty. And he's just like, even the move to centre where the workload is lightened enormously and he just hasn't played that many games for you.
Well, here's a crazy stat. He's played more games for the Roosters than the Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
He's played 4 years at the Roosters and this is his 7th season at South. So, yeah, it's not great. I feel for him because, no one would be more frustrated than Latrell, and unfortunately, he's all these questions are being asked. So, yeah, he must be so frustrated. But yeah, it's annoying.
You and I, Matty, often have the discussion over a few beverages about Tommy Turbo, and there's still time left in his career, fortunately. But he's going to always be the question of what could have been, how good could this bloke have been. But Latrell's starting to get into that territory as well of just missed finals opportunities and origin opportunities. And I think just the other thing with Latrell, just stringing games together for match fitness, because that's always been probably his Achilles heel at times. And a fully fit Latrell, it doesn't get much better, but he's getting into that territory as well.
Well, I'll have to check this. I believe Turbo's played more games than him in the last 5 years, something like that. So that should be an indication enough. So, yeah, no good.
A bit of a setback again for Latrell Mitchell, but hopefully not too long. We see him again sooner rather than later. The SC Playbook Day at the Footy Guys is back. The Community Day hosted by Allianz Stadium at the American Express Garden. It returns in 2026. Roosters v Dolphins. Just quietly, with every week that goes on, that is shaping as a freaking cracker of a game. Saturday, August 29, round 26, head-to-head grand final week. The sun's going to be shining. SC Playbook subscribers get 50% off tickets for that with our link that is in the Discord community. If you're not in there, just email us at supercoachplaybook@gmail.com. That is full word Supercoach. Non-subscribers, you get a 10% discount on tickets. That can be found in the description of the show, podcast, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever it is. Massive turnout last year, wanting to quadruple it this year if we can. The Unlimited League leader, Ali Barber, coached by Joel. Shout out to Ali Barber. I think it originated in Canberra. Could be wrong, but one of the great kebab joints of all time. 4th overall, he's coming. No, sorry. I think he's 6th overall. So we're actually dropping down a little bit there. Our weekly winner, 10 in the bin, scored 1,546 points. He was 4th overall for the week. Big member of our community, an absolute legend, and does some great content of his own as well, 10 in the bin. So check him out on Instagram and Twitter, formerly known as X-Spy.
Just on kebabs quickly.
Yeah.
Very important note.
Sounds
It's
important.
an indictment on the world and inflation that I paid $19.50 for a kebab after Scruffy Murphy's on Saturday night. That's a lot of money. Or am I just growing old and have been out for a while?
No, in the words of Eric Cartman, that is wrong.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's bloody good. And I
The
needed
Turks
it,
have
but
bumped up the prices after what happened to them in the
After the World Cup,
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, look,
To be fair,
fair enough if that's the
if
case.
you're on George Street in Sydney at 2 a.m. and you're drunk, you'll pay whatever price they put up. You're paying for that bab.
I needed it.
I would do the same. Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, shout out to Ali Barber. And guys, of course, if you'd like to support SC Playbook and get all the extra content that we have on offer, articles, subscriber, podcasts, the Discord community, late mail channels, all the good stuff across AFL, the World Cup soccer, the NFL, NBA, EPL, the pre-seasons for those sports, starting up again very, very shortly. You can do so for less than $2 a week at scplaybook.com.au. If you're coming to the SC Playbook Day at the Footy at Allianz and you subscribe for less than $2 a week, you're going to save about $40 on a ticket with that discount, so you're laughing. Today's show, Team List Tuesday pointers, Simi Sasagi is back to rescue the Raiders and take them to premiership glory. Our topic for today's show is a cracker. CTW final targets. What's the perfect 7 players to fill the vital centre wing position for the run home? We changed the topic late last night for today's show because I was sitting there doing my trades and it became very relevant to me about who I could get in, who I couldn't, certain trades left, etc. We'll get to that a little bit later. Topic for today's show, hot topics I should say, Big David for feeder. Is he a must add an era just for rate and trade and skippers for round 17? Boys, let's start with TLT pointers. Not heaps to go through this week. There are a couple, but at the Bunnies, Tallis Duncan named at centre again. This is annoying me as an owner, but he's damn good, Tallis Duncan. Just needs to find a bit of attack when playing out at centre, which he can do. Just hate him at right centre. Need him at left centre, Spy.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's a bit of a shame for you. But the thing you know about Duncan is, and even last game at centre, he has a crack. He still has a reasonable base, and he's still got a pretty good record at centre. So you just got to hope those tries flow, as you said.
Just need to attract 1 or 2 attacking stats and he'll be good. So not ideal, not the end of the world. At the Titans, let's talk about him now, boys. But Oliver Pascoe has been named to start Dezzy, which is encouraging. He only played, I think it was 29 minutes for 31 points. Could have been 31 minutes for 29 points. Doesn't make much of a difference. On the weekend, Sam Verrills came on. They beat the Penrith Panthers. I was really hoping just to have Pascal as my reserve hooker to Harry Grant for the rest of the season, not have to worry about that position. All of a sudden, with a break-even that skyrocketed to the high 80s, what are we thinking with Oliver Pascoe?
Yeah. I think we were all hoping the same thing as you. It's a tricky one. I think for now you've got to hold on right through this bye period. But if Brayley comes back and he's just absolutely looks like a must-have, there's the option of going up to him. Otherwise, you just let him sit there. That you don't have enough trades left remaining to worry about hooker. But if Brayley comes back and he looks like he's going to average 80 odd, 75 plus 80, that's the only inference where we use a trade left on hooker right now. It's just not worth it.
Spy, 528k, break even is 82, low 80s. He was not high 80s, and he did score 31 in 29 minutes. What are you thinking?
I was going to give it the week. A bit of my theme today is there's a bit to unfold, and I think in the next 7 days, Pascoe could prove to be the perfect backup still. Look, even if he's playing 60 minutes, he's still a handy backup if you need him for a week. Like, he's going to get through his work. He's got attack in him. Worth noting that Josh Hannay, their coach, did talk about how Penrith really worked him over, and I didn't hear him say it. I just read the quote, but I think he more meant just in a physical sense. He had to do a lot of work early. 29 minutes for 29 tackles and 3 misses. It's 32 cracks at making a tackle in 29 minutes. I'm exhausted thinking about it. Yeah. So the facts are Verrills came on and they're playing good footy, so they might just let it roll out. So we don't know what's going to happen this week. But yeah, an upgrade, a downgrade. We can reassess next week because he doesn't play the round 18 bye. So let's see what happens this week and figure it out.
It works perfectly. And I really do think the play is, it's in a world where he retains a big minute role, you just hold him for the season. But realistically speaking, because they do think highly of Verrills and he's had injury concerns, the fact is they beat the Penrith Panthers and Verrills came on and did a good job. So there's probably going to be a job share there. We may have to sell him at some point. Blake Brayley, I think is the answer. And on the bye this week, he dropped plenty of cash last week, Blake Brayley, expecting him probably to be on the bench for the Blues. I mean, if he's not, you just go Pascoe to him next week for round 18 coverage. But I'm thinking, Spy, obviously, will there be a price drop from Pascoe this week unless he notches that 82 points? If the minutes are poor again, Pascoe to Brayley, round 19.
Yeah, I'm pretty reluctant to lose all his cash, especially if you can't rely on him as a backup. So really important to reassess next weekend. But
he could be a 30-minute bench hooker at some point. Yep. And, we're looking at 250k cash loss. It's a lot.
Blake's outrageously cheap as well. So
correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. Stephen Crichton named in the halves once again as per game day. It wasn't actually named that way, but played in the halves at 5'8" for the Doggies with that win over Manly. Matty Burton at centre once again. Xavier Willison starts at lock for the Brisbane Broncos. Love that. Selwyn Cobbo returns from origin duties on the wing. Tavita Nafahu. This dude, going to talk about him a little bit later, but just a beast. So he drops back to the bench now to that team. So he's going to be a beast once he gets a starting spot for the Dolphins, but geez, they are stacked. Jackson Ford out for the Warriors. Still no scan results or news on him yet, right, boys? It looks bad.
Ford came out just then, 10 to 12 weeks. 10 to 12,
yeah.
Supercoach-wise, done and dusted. For Waz fans, though, that would mean back for finals, hopefully.
That's the main
good
one.
NRL result, but yeah, obviously no good for Supercoach.
10 to 12. Ford, devastating, very highly owned in Supercoach terms.
Does give an opportunity because I've personally been looking at who on earth do I sell for the guys I want. Makes a pretty easy decision for you.
I'm a bit the same. If you notice I haven't had any tantrums the last 2 weeks about injuries, it's because they came to Kai Pearce-Paul and Jackson Ford. And when I had a little tanny about a month ago, it's because my pods kept getting injured. I'm like, just at least be players that are highly owned.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as much.
Guys like that, it's like everyone's got them. If you're in the 20-odd% that don't, you're laughing. But it's like everyone's been hit by it. So, and to your point, Spy, getting to that point, I'm like, who do I trade out? I'm like, all right, that's who it is. So
done and done.
Not the end of the world there, but yeah. Good to hear we'll hopefully be back for finals. Ruben Garrick out for Manly. Josh Flaherty starts in the centres. Jahrome Hughes out for the Storm with a hamstring injury. I did see him leave the field late, but I thought he might have been getting a rest. Tyron Wishart starts at 7, who we haven't seen anything on severity of that hamstring, have we?
The last I read was very light, so maybe 1 to 2 weeks. So
I want to buy Wishy so bad. When I owned him last year for about 5-6 weeks through the Origin period, he was so enjoyable to own because he just runs and runs and runs. But it just looks like it's not going to happen this year. Simi Sasagi returns at centre in a bid to rescue the Raiders season. More on him with our CTW Power Rankings. Alex Twal returns for the Tigers. Could he be a direct swap for Jackson Ford? Is he going to feature in anyone's trade plans this week, boys? Should we wait or do we...
Boys, I was keen to go on that straight swap, but I am 1K short. Precisely 1K short.
Ouch.
And I'm always banging on about how I don't need cash. So it's just screwed me over.
Sometimes the way it goes, you're just like, I didn't need that cash. Yeah. But personally, I think I'd rather just see how many minutes he comes back playing. Yeah. Do they ease him back in? It's a lot of money to fork out if he's paying 55 upon return, so it could be a blessing, Deslo.
The other thing with Twal at 780k, he's not going to hurt you. If he comes out and does play 70 minutes and goes straight back to where he started, he'll probably score 85, 90 in base and power. And you're like, okay, cool, like whatever. He's still
can
going to
deal
drop
with it.
with a break-even 109. Whereas someone like a Nico Hines or a Cleary, when they're in a similar situation, they can go 180 and you're like, shit, do I just do it?
Agree, 100%. Well said.
Thanks, Spy. Appreciate it, mate. Alrighty. Let's go on to the topic for the show, boys. Final CT dubs. Now, I'm giddy for this conversation because it's so relevant right now, and there are blokes like Nawaqanitawase that I'm keen on this week, Tom Jenkins that I'm keen on this week. I went for a little pod play last week on Paul Alamotti instead of Tom Jenkins. So far, so good, but that could change very quickly. Dom Young, I have a bit of an eye on, but I'm like, my CT dub's already stacked. There's, players that I probably want back post-Origin. It's just you can't afford to bring someone in now that probably isn't going to be in your final 7 CT dubs with trades running so short, especially if we do want to play a bit of fullback roulette, maybe some halfback roulette later on in the season, who knows. So what we're doing here, we've all listed our 7 CT dubs. We're going to read them out from 7 to 1 and go through with what we've got and have a bit of a discussion around them, boys. With so much uncertainty around Latrell, I think the latest news today was there was no time frame on it from what I've seen, but it sounds like it might be a bit more severe than first anticipated. So preface it that Latrell Mitchell, back, fit, firing, is probably number 1 on everyone's list.
Absolutely.
We're going to drop him out of our list for now. Let's start at number 7, Spy. Who have you got?
Latrell, month or more. NRL physio flying in with the updates at the moment. So, yeah, he won't be.
He's a busy man, Fizz.
He won't be needed, Latrell, at least in the next 4 or 5 weeks. So, we can, abort him for now.
Even then, he'll be coming back from injury at over $1 million with a huge break even.
Maybe won't goal kick. Might not be healthy. You're not getting him.
Calf injury that he's already aggravated at training, let alone a game.
He's the perfect bloke, is why I want to save trades, because if everyone runs out of trades and he gets back to his best for the final 3 weeks, you can go bang. Opportunity.
So, I mean, from a purely selfish Supercoach perspective, I was like, did my long-term planning last couple of weeks, and one of them factored into my final. I think I've got 13 or 14 trades left, was 2 trades for Latrell. And that's like, all right, what if he comes back and belts out tons and he's still at $1 million? We might be looking at 3 trades. So
I didn't even do him because it was all too hard. I'm like, we'll just deal with that if I have to.
if we can get to him later, we will. Spy, I'll start with you, mate. And we'll go from number 7 down to number 1. Go around the circle and we'll have a bit of a chat. Who have you got at your number 7?
Bloody hard, boys, I tell you. But number 7, I've got Greggy Marju. The note I'd make around him is he's a different player with than without Kalen Ponga. That kind of goes without saying. Ponga's a brilliant ball player. While Sharp can pass the footy, he's a running fullback. Like, simple as that. Can pass the footy. We saw on the weekend just a bit less limited opportunity versus Saints. He was still in and abouts. I'm still worried. He's not tackle busting much this year, boys. He's playing that he's running nice and hard for his own team, which is great. Not many tackle busts, not offloading lots. So he is relying on line breaks and tries, which is why I've got him at 7 and not higher for a bloke who scored 207 not long ago. Look, he's 92 points a game with KP, which is pretty good going. What I'll add to that, and bear with me on this logic, we were talking about this pre-show, we're going to assume he's not going to score 207 again. Not saying that's out of the realm of possibility, but often you can go, does that skew his average way too much to be reasonable? So I'll just pull that back to 130. Good day out, but it's a lot of points off. He's still averaging 80 with Kalen Ponga, even if he scored 130. It's bloody good going. So I'm keen to see how it plays out with Kalen. He's just the key to Greg Marju, simple as that, which is why I could have Marju in the top 2 or it could fall out altogether, but I'm willing to give him another couple of weeks.
And that's the thing with a lot of these CT dubs, the gap. But I found with my rankings, I found my top 3 pretty easy. 4 through to 7, along with a couple of notable flyers that I've added as options. Take your pick, and things can change so quickly. Dezzy, who have you got at 7?
Yeah, I was thinking Greg the Leg, but he's just like you said, he's just too reliant on another player in the team doing well. So I've tried to focus my rankings on, not being outside dependent on other players, just purely how good is this player by themselves. I've gone to Zarko at 7. I think you got to kind of have him for matchups, a lot of good matchups. The Dolphins, while they're humming, he's got the goal kicking. I think he injured himself a week or 2 ago. Maybe he did a finger, something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to impact his scoring that much. I think he showed over the last couple of months, for anyone that's bought him, that he's solid. He'll get you 80 points even without a try some weeks if the Dolphins absolutely obliterate, which I think he did a few weeks ago when they put on 50. They didn't go out to Bostock or Zarko's edge at all. They went all left, and he still got 80 points.
Yeah.
So for me, he's definitely like a guy that you want to have in your center wing. You probably want to play him most weeks while the Dolphins are in this sort of form.
Yeah.
But he's also a guy that you can sit on matchups.
Yeah. Very nice. Jahrome Hughes, number 7 for Dezzy Creek. For myself, I've sort of, my 4 to 7 are really blokes, except for number 7 here, that really have high ceilings that you can play based on matchup. There's a few that you're just playing every week.
Yep.
We're going to get to Herbie Farnworth later, and I'm probably no guessing where he's going to stand for us. But I've gone KL Iro, boys, and I've gone a bracket as maybe Simi Sasagi. My one concern with Sasagi is that as we get into the back end of the season, where I suspect there's going to be some big blowout scorelines, teams decimated by injuries, they've thrown in they're waving the white flag, and then you've got teams playing for minor premierships, top 4, top 8, and everything counts. There's going to be some big blowouts. Not saying Sasagi can't go big, but like the Raiders' season's in turmoil as is. Like, I just don't see him putting big scores on. I don't necessarily see him having these big ones. So he's a big watch, obviously, but I don't have him in there now. I've got KL Iro, who I own. Now, look, big argument to say that with his 69-point average this season, his average is skewed by just 2 back-to-back weeks against the Cowboys and Tigers where he scored hat-tricks, scored 128 and 132 in those times. Outside of that, the base of 41's good. Power's okay, but he's not what he was last year. Why he still sits in my top 7, I think the Sharks will come home strong. I do. Nico back, Brayley back. We get into the back end of the season where I think we're going to see some of these blowouts. I think we'll see Cronulla put 50. There are teams like the Dragons in round 23. This coincides with head-to-head finals, arguably the best draw in the comp. Dragons, Raiders at Shark Park, Titans and Eels. That's where I think KL Iro can explode. And he's a rock-solid player each and every week, no matter who he's playing. So that's a big factor for KL Iro. Spy, number 6.
Well, I didn't have Iro in until I saw that draw. That is good, isn't it? But yeah, very close. I'd say on Iro, I went away from him. I owned him from the start of the season. I sold him a couple of weeks after those 6 tries in about a game and a half. Really just to cash him in. And what I was seeing was that...
Oh, you sold him after the 6 tries?
Yep.
I sold him right before the 6 tries.
No, it was about 2 weeks after. I'm like, I think he's peaked. He's not paying to buy. I'll look at this bloke again later, and it might be around 23 at that, but at the moment, not in my top 7. Number 6, Simi Sasagi. Hard to say how he comes back. Is the shoulder okay? You'd hope so. Do the Raiders need to rush him back? Yes, they need a win. So let's just see what happens here. At the moment, he's 6. He could be much higher than that, but to your point, he probably lacks the upside of a goal-kicking, winging Jahrome Hughes. So that's the difference. Simi's super reliable, but at the end of the season, you want those possible 150, 200. So I got him at 6.
Dezzy, you're number 6.
I've gone Tolu Kola.
Ooh.
I think he's
Right.
just looking next level this year. His pace has gone up a yard. It just seems like whatever niggles and injuries he's been carrying the last couple of years are not bothering him as much this year. Like, he's still always taped up and strapped up, but it just like he just looks like he's in full flight every time I see him now, and he's scoring Supercoach points to boot. He's got that huge ceiling in him, and you know, if Turbo or someone like that goes down, he slots into fullback where he can go absolutely ballistic. But I don't mind him at centre this season. He's still getting those kind of tap-on assists that we're seeing a lot of.
Which
the
he didn't
centres
get last year.
Yeah, which he didn't get. So, yeah, I think Tolu's a man that you'll really want to play on matchups heading into the end game.
No knock from me. If he got a lengthy stint at fullback, he'd be there. I mean, I'd already bought him when he was at fullback for a grand total of 1 game. But at centre, you're right. He's going well. Can Manly keep up the good form? Time will tell. But fullback would be a very different story. For myself, I've gone Greg Marju at 6. Boys, I just think he's the perfect fixture play for the run home. You don't need to play him every week. I mean, you look at their draw in coming weeks, Greg Marju, and look, to people that did sell him when he peaked in price, I thought there was a bit of madness to it. I thought he'd score more than 35 against the Dragons. He did not, obviously. But Tigers in Newey this week, then the Dolphins in Newey again. He's now at $699K. he was peaked at 888k. Like, I genuinely think he's borderline buy for the upcoming games with, as you said, Spy, Kalen Ponga back. So, look, with the break-even 168, you probably don't do it, to be fair. But, yeah, I really like Marju. There'll be weeks on the run home that I'll sit him. But, you look at head-to-head finals draws, the first 2 weeks of head-to-head finals, on the assumption, like most leagues have their finals set round 23 to 26. It will differ for some. First 2 weeks of head-to-head finals, Raiders, Titans, like they're games where he could end your season if you don't own him. Then does go Manly in Newcastle into the Warriors away for grand final week, but grand final week's one where you go, will you sit him or you've got to trade up to see if you move him to whoever has the best matchup. So Greg Marju at number 6 for me. Spy, your number 5.
And lots of home games for the Knights. Stacked with them, which is huge. Like a ball-playing side for a winger like that.
And the next 2, I believe, are day games, which, again, huge for the Knights.
Yeah, they also have one night game for the rest of the season, which is great, barring a 6 o'clock, whatever we call that. Number 5, Jahrome Hughes. I think I could nearly have him higher. I think he's a fantastic buy. Dezzy said it all before. I think we can't underrate his upside. He's already scored 178, I think, this year. Goal kicks, his work rate's pretty good. He plays outside Izzy Katoa, and Jack Bostock's outstanding for him. So I just think he's in the perfect situation. If there was an injury to Izzy Katoa long term or something like that, I would reassess. But at the moment, with the Dolphs firing, he could be nearly higher than 5, but got him at 5 at the moment.
I'll jump in on your Dezzy because I've got a Sarkar at 5 and not too much to add there. I'm with you. I think you'd nearly play him every week. Like what they've got the Roosters in round 26. We'll be at that one. I was going to say sit in, but we're going to be at the game, so you've got to play him for that. But like Manly at Brookie, maybe. But outside of that, I'm not seeing a game here that I sit him for. Like the Sharkies, they play at Redcliffe in that one, which is a cracker. So yeah, lock and load. Dezzy, you're number 5.
I've actually gone for the man inside Greg the Leg. I've gone for Bradman. He's actually averaging the exact same as Marzu, and he doesn't have a 200 and a 140 in his average. He's just getting it done without scoring the tries. I think he's still got a huge ceiling on him. We've seen a 106, 127, but a lot of that's from try assists.
Huge beneficiary of the new stats. His tip-on is outstanding, and he doesn't have to worry about whether he gets the assist because it's just going to him this year. So
just 2 tries so far this season. That you'd expect that to increase over the draw ahead, especially with Tigers, Dolphins, Souths over the next 3.
I have one major issue, Dezzy.
Injury
could be picked in Origin.
Well, he could that too, but it's not that because that's 1 week.
Yeah,
I could never trust him to get through the 80 minutes for me, and he could easily pump out a 9 for you because he can get hurt. He's just made a muscle, and they tend to tear. That's my biggest concern. It's no knock on him. I think Bradman Best is a gun. I love him.
If he was more durable, he'd be in my team. But as I say that, he'd probably be in 100% teams. But as per you going early on Turbo last week, Dezzy, and you said it sort of in your article last week, Supercoach is about risks. Sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. Well, he's the ultimate one at the moment because you're right in what you're saying.
Yeah, it's risk appetite. It's a risk appetite game.
Yep,
and
sure.
Your appetite increases the lower your ranking gets.
And where it also alters is how many trades do you have left? Can you afford for Best to get injured so you get him in and then out in short succession? Like, even have a look at your team. Like, if you own Tom Trebojevic, then you get Bradman Best, then you own maybe Jacob Kiraz, you could lose these 3 blokes in 1 week. That's call it what it is. So
you could.
Whereas if you don't own all of these blokes who have been dealing with injuries this season or have injury histories, these sorts of things, it's just a different story, and you could take a punt on him. Oh, seriously though, like I've gone through too many trades, and I think I'm too scared to do it. But I do like the call.
Yeah, it's running the gauntlet. I think he is a top 5 centre wing if he can stay fit for the last 10 games.
Yeah, mate, you love that gauntlet though. You run all the time.
Loves the gauntlet.
Got to do it.
Your name's etched into that gauntlet. Spy. What we're up to? Number 4.
Number 4, who I might actually flip to 5 based on our chat.
Yeah.
Hard for me to do, but he's my boy, Jacob Kiraz. Just the fact the Dogs aren't at their best at the moment, not scoring a lot of points, maybe lowers his floor a little. What we love about Kiraz, he has 400 runs, 50 offloads and tackle busts. Obviously exaggerating there, but you can just rely on him to score a lot of points.
Not exaggerating much.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's 76 on the weekend, 1 line break, very low scoring game. You can just lock him in for excellent points. Can the Doggies come good on the run home and add more points to their attack? That would be the question mark on whether he finishes higher. But geez, nice and safe to own. Obviously, barring injury, but he's pretty hard to get off the field. If he's going to miss a week, it's normally ruled out pre-game. So Kira's at 4.
Dezzy?
I've gone Marky Mark at 4. I think I'd just edge Kiraz to 3 for me. Just based on he doesn't need to score tries, whereas Marky does. So yeah, Marky at 4. I think you could play him pretty much every week. He's that sort of player now. He's pretty fixture proof now. Like he'll just get one. He'll get one for you, and if he doesn't, then you cop it on the chin because he'll get 3 in the next week to make up for it.
Very interesting, boys. Those blokes, yeah.
Yeah. I move down so I can see the Roosters draw here. I think it's pretty bloody good. I think he'll towel up Parramatta. Melbourne, he can get a couple. Newcastle, Cowboys, Bulldogs. It looks pretty juicy. Marky's going to get pies. Pretty much every game there you would expect.
Can score a mate pie.
I'm surprised he's so low for you, Dezzy. We'll get to my higher ups shortly. I have gone my number 4, Tom Jenkins. I found him a little bit tough to place, and I don't really know why. The numbers are all there, right? He's averaging 85, a couple of low ones during his 2 low scores, 47 and 52 without Cleary and other Origin stars. Highs of 148, 134. No knock on them, but he's getting through a tremendous amount of attacking stats in these scores. They're games of 2 tries, 5 line breaks, all sorts of things. I've got him at 4 because of how good Penrith are. And I just think, his low scores for the year, 38, 47, they're pretty damn good. I wouldn't argue if you've got him higher, and I'm guessing you boys probably do because he hasn't cropped up yet. And if you had him lower, I also wouldn't be against it, but he's at number 4 for me. Spy, you're number 3.
3 is Tommy Jenkins for me. And you got to remember the low scores he has was A, without Cleary.
Yeah.
And the 2 weeks where we almost knew it was coming from the viewpoint of it was rounds 8 and 9 from memory, but we knew that it was the week that the Penrith would target the other edge. It's just how the matchups played out.
There was also...
We can sit him for those.
Also, Luke Garner was his centre last week.
Yeah. So it's like there's reasons, but with Cleary in and the proper side in place, hopefully Casey McLean back soon, love him. Number 3, again, he's got that floor where you could play him and he gets a 40 and he gets a bit of a shame, but he's got a lot of tons in him on the back of that edge. It's not like he doesn't have a go either. He still loves a run and he's capable of doing stuff. He caught one and offloaded for a try assist on the weekend. He's in the game. Slight risk, but the upside's just sky high.
Yeah. So unassuming in the air, little Tommy Jenkins, isn't he? He's so good aerially.
Can move.
That little white boy shouldn't be able to jump like that. He's unreal.
It's good, eh?
Dezzy, number 3.
I've got Kiraz at 3. I just think the base and power is back. We've talked about it about a month ago. It wasn't there, but then it's just exploded over the last month. He's back. It's the Shiraz that we love. The offloads are just coming easy to him. He's breaking tackles again. Doesn't need to score tries like Jenkins and Marky Mark do to make his tons. He can get a ton without a try, which is just so invaluable.
He's averaging 6 offloads a game the last month.
It's unbelievable.
That is outrageous. If you add this is only rough math, but that's about 20 a game plus his tackle bus. He's up around 40 points just in offloads and tackle bus. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Insane.
I want to get him in ASAP.
I was surprised by you had him at 4. I've got him at 3 as well, Dezzy, and could easily have had him at number 2. He's got a break even of 88. Look, it is a really good matchup against the Titans this week. With the break even of 88, Titans they're playing tomorrow at footy, to their credit, when due, into a bye just because of the fact that he tore his calf or whatever, he's been playing through it. I am an owner. I'll be very relieved to see him get through this week because he then has a bye.
Yep.
So he gets through this week, then has a bye. The calf surgery, whatever it was he was meant to have, was already 4 or 5 weeks ago. So he's got through those. If he can get through this week into a bye, then he goes into Raiders, Tigers. So, yeah, if I didn't know, I think I'd wait until after the bye, but I thought he'd be higher for you, Spy, but he's my number 3. Who's your
He also could play Origin.
He could.
Yep. Not saying he will, but he could. He's in the mix, I reckon.
Yeah. I think had Marky Mark not lit up in that last game, and again for the Roosters every time he's played since coming back from injury, he'd be a huge chance. I just think because of his own injury concerns and Marky's form, you probably...
Yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe... that's another discussion.
Don't you dare.
No
Don't
chance.
Wash your mouth out.
He's not right at the moment. Number 2, Marky Nawaqanitawase, just for everything we spoke about. Averaging about 100 in the last 6 weeks without that injury, probably stealing a stat off you there, but it's very evident if you look through his scores. The only low one is did he get 2 or something?
Yeah.
He's 80s, 90s and big tons. So he's huge. He's unstoppable in the air. He's going to have a day out at some point that does go 200 plus. And you know what he did on the weekend? He had 4 offloads. Thank you very much. He'd sort of been told, I think, to put it away early in the season, but Robbo was happy to let him flow by the looks of it. So that's huge. That can add another 10 to his average a game.
Yeah, I've got him number 2 as well, and I was a bit surprised you had him so low, Dezzy. It's not the easiest run home, to be fair, for the Roosters. Like, they have the Eels after round 18. That's a cracker. Then they have Melbourne, Newcastle away, Cowboys, Doggies, Panthers, Tigers, Dolphins, Bunnies. There's some good matchups, but there's some tough games in there too. But, yeah, I think there are some matchups there in a red-hot Roosters attacking outfit where they're going to put 50, maybe even 60 on. I think the draw's just good enough they won't probably put the big score on late, depending what happens to certain teams, but I think we're going to see some 140, 150s from him. So he's definitely my 2. Who have you got, Des?
I've gone Milky Jenkins at 2, just because I think there's that added extra factor where he's hunting down AJ's 30 try seasons. He's hunting the try scoring record. So if he gets close over the last 3 or 4 rounds, surely they keep playing him. They don't give him a rest. Go for the record, Milky.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because I'm going to assume the Panthers would probably clear by a game or 2, come around 27.
Well clear.
And they'll mass rest. But if he's a try short of it, maybe they play him.
Maybe they play him.
Cleary lock in the Dally M.
And an extra game for these guys is like you make up any sort of average. If they average 80, 85, and then you get the extra 85 on top, he's clearing everyone else there on that list by 10.
If Tigers are out of the 8, they're carrying a lot of injuries, the Tigers. They could be not mass resting, but mass going, we need to get these guys right. We're not playing our full side. Be very interesting if Penrith play their full side round 27.
My tip, get the Oracle out, get the ball out, round 27. I reckon Penrith rest their entire team.
Good chance.
I do, yeah.
Yep.
Even if he's on 30 tries or 29 tries?
Well, they might not. He might be the one. But if Penrith mass rest, how many tries is he scoring anyway? But
he might play in the halves and get a hat trick.
He might be the one. He might be the one that plays. But from a broader Supercoach perspective, I haven't all mass rest. He's been doing it in recent years.
Yeah,
so.
I'd
not always round 27 though, boys. I'll check that, but round 26.
It could be round 26
going into the
for
finals.
sure.
So, yeah, we'll see.
All right. Number 1.
It was a bit hard to pick.
Herbie, yeah. How did we come up with that? Jeez.
That is insightful. Quick clip that.
Yeah.
I reckon that's
the
people need to know.
Yeah. Herbie number 1, there's nothing to say. Spy, I know you had a couple you wanted to flag, and there's a few that I wanted to flag. My main one was Alex Johnston, who's just been overlooked. I was sort of concerned about the origin period, and Latrell was going to miss a lot of games of footy. He's shown that he can score well without him, but when Latrell comes back, a little link up with AJ, I love that.
AJ, absolutely. And you could buy him now because it's almost like he knows how to score a try. I don't know. Weird.
Jeez.
Weird. It's like his timing's really good or something.
Well, even with Latrell Seagwalt, the namesake, who does a really, really good job there, 4 games with Seagwalt inside him, scores of 124, 28, 53, and 113. But again, play on matchup. If you're that, like, say Latrell Mitchell does return anytime soon, you could still buy him once he bottoms out in price. I mean, 718K is not too bad, and just for the softer games, you play him, and for the ones you're scared about him not scoring and going low, just sit him.
Just sit him, yep.
Huge
I've got
there.
AJ listed as well, so absolutely one to keep an eye on. And I just had 3 blokes I wanted to mention. You already said him earlier. Dom Young. Bloke knows how to get into space. Knights, again, I'm back in the Knights just to produce attack this year. They're looking really, really good. Injury-free, running home, hopefully.
I think if you want Dom Young, and I don't knock anyone wanting him, I think the time is now.
Yep.
He's a good price at 607K. Day games incoming. Tigers, then Dolphins set their origin stars. Plays the second major buy round. He then goes into tricky games. It's like the Bunnies, the Sharks, the Roosters, the Broncos at Suncorp. Eases up for 2 games, Raiders, Titans. Then he goes Manly. Then he goes the Warriors into a bye. So I think if you want Dom Young, the time's now.
Yep, and he plays round 18, which could be very handy. And the other two were Lehigh Hapawadi, outside Cooler, and hopefully Turbo.
Absolutely.
Well, he scored 100 and he scored a huge ton late last year. And I owned him, which is great. He's awesome. He's a great player.
I think I like, and I love Tolotau. I think with Turbo back, I like Lehigh on the wing more than Kohler.
So do I.
I like Ruben Garrick as well, but he's not named. Garrick was looking back to his Garrick best over the last month with the goal kicking back.
So am I right in saying all three missed goals on the weekend were Fogarty?
Rubes missed the first, Fogarty missed the next two.
Okay, I was just curious on that.
Yeah.
I didn't see the conversions, so it's
So
going to be interesting to see who ends up kicking.
You'd expect Garrick will come back and take it.
Not necessarily.
I expect that to happen.
But like they started round one and Jamal's the man, but I don't know.
It's musical chairs. It really is. But
Now, you can watch and find out.
yeah.
Lehigh Hapawadi, 3 games this year with Turbo in the Fosball era. Manly, that first 2 rounds or 3 rounds, whatever it was, under Siebes, put a line through it.
Yep.
Get the red Sharpie out. 3 games in Fosball with Turbo, 95, 67 and 99. I think he's the play.
Very good. And my final one, boys, Selwyn Cobbo. Again, the Finns, they are humming. Outside Herbie, I'll say it probably for the next 10 years, but any side with Izzy Katara in it, your wide blokes are going to find some footy because you can just create so much space.
You could own, I mean, they've got to buy in round 21 or something, or 22, but you could own
Run home.
both centres and both wingers
I know.
of the Dolphins.
I know.
throw
96,
hammers.
74,
And
92,
the hooker
89
probably
last
as
4
well.
games. Also, we saw how bloody well Cobbo was in Origin 2. Confidence is up, so yeah, he could be a real sneaky one. Maybe after the bye.
Yeah.
Saints,
Didn't see it.
Brisbane.
I didn't see it. Well, must have watched another game.
Yeah, I think I watched day 5 as well.
The other sneaky one that I already own, I brought him in, and this is why I was doing so much planning, and I was keen to hear your guys' thoughts and help sort of assure myself of what I want to do longer term with my CT dubs. But like, I went Paul Alamotti last week, and it was primarily as a short-term vision for him with 2 really good matchups to come on the wing last week, and he'll be on the wing next week with Toto, I assume, out to Origin.
Yep.
And goal kicking, all these great things. I don't think he's a top 7 at centre, Paul Alamotti. I think he'll be thereabouts, but a bit outside it. If Toto or Tommy Jenkins got injured and he was on the wing,
Oh,
even without the goal kicking, I think Paul Alamotti comes into my top 7. He's already in my team, so he's probably not going to leave it.
I've wanted him the whole year, and he just keeps getting put it right at centre. I'm like, move him.
So have I, and last week I was like, screw it. Everyone's going Jenkins, and I'm like, I'm just going to bite the bullet for a few reasons. We had to trade a little bit later, but I did him last week, and his 72 was without any attack either. It was just beast mode. His work rate and the base power getting up there a little bit. So, and I don't think many people will go to him either, so I need something next 2 weeks. I need a biggie. All right, guys. Update. Week gutted Dogs, 1,249 points, back to 69,000th overall after picking the team from round 2. He also told me to update you his Foztag side. Since he's done his hamstring, they are 0 from 1. So he reckons there's a bit of a pattern emerging.
It looks like a pattern to me.
100% loss rate without the little fella since doing his hammy. Our good mate Paddy from Morgan's Choice SCW, he had a Playbook listener call him last week, a self-confessed financial battler. He said caller hadn't checked his rate in over a year. When he came off his fixed rate, he'd assumed he was getting the best deal and it all seemed affordable enough. How very wrong he was, though. He had a simple chat with Paddy. Next minute, discovered there was substantially better value to be found, and he was able to save himself almost $400 a month on his repayment, and he didn't even have to lift a finger dialing the phone aside, of course. Yeah, $400. That's ridiculous. Didn't even know he could do it. If you too are a self-confessed battler when it comes to finance, talk to Paddy and the team will do the work for you. Put more money in your back pocket for the good things in life. Best of all, it's free of charge because you listen to this podcast. Simply mention SC Playbook when you get in touch and you get a free consult worth $129. That's on top of the $400 a month that they will probably save you. Get in touch, hit him up on Instagram at mortgagechoice_SCW or give him a buzz on 02 9521 1611. All right. Hot topics. Most traded in and out players for NRL Supercoach Round 17. Let me get them up. Who have we got on
Got
this?
distracted by that $100 a week savings from Paddy.
I know.
Understandably.
Yeah.
That's
It
outrageous.
rattled me a little bit reading that live on air. So All right, from the top 10% of teams overall, Mark Nawaqanitawase, boys, very interesting one this week. Exploding since returning from injury. 77-point average for the season. That elevates substantially when you take out I think it was a 2-point game earlier in the year when injured early on in a game that I owned him for. Happy days. A break it. If he didn't get injured that game, he'd probably be averaging 130 and be $1.4 million. Life would be great, but we can't have it all. Break even of 6 at 686K. My question for you, Dezzy, Broncos this week, Origin next week, we'll assume. Do you move now for the Broncos game and a break-even of 6 with decent money incoming, or do we wait?
Yeah, the break-even of 6 does look juicy, doesn't it? I wouldn't put it past most people. Well, most people are moving. He's at the top of the trade-in rankings. Yeah, for me, I'm just gonna have to wait. I'm just way too trade short to do it myself. But if I had heaps of trades, sure, he'd be top of the list as well, along with Suafa-Longo, Payne Haas, Alex Stoll. It's a pretty bloody good list. This week, better than the last one.
Yeah, you weren't happy at that one, Dezzy.
No, these are good trade-ins. Players are on the mark this week.
Spy, Marky Mark.
Yeah, look, if you've got someone you're really keen to sell, I don't hate it. Try and get a big score, a big price rise. You assume he's got Origin, and then we don't know what happens round 19. I think the Roosters play. Let me just check that one.
Yeah, they do.
They do. Whether he backs up, I'm not sure.
Parramatta, isn't it?
Saturday night, but I mean, does he back up? Who knows? Probably, but we just got to factor that in.
There is a chance he doesn't, though.
That's it. For me personally, the only blokes that would possibly sell are Marju or Bostock, who play the round 18 bye. So it's like it's a big leap of faith to sell someone who could ton up in the bye week. So it's not an option for me.
I know I've got, and a lot of people will be similar, that like I've got a back rower in my flex, and like I've still got KPP and I've still got Ford. So like I can trade in anyone this week. And I think there'll be a lot of people in a relatively similar boat.
If you can do it, don't hate it. I think it's fine.
Yeah. I think if you've got good numbers for next week, like sort of 13, 14, and you're not too concerned easily, I do worry if he was to, the thing about the Roosters, they'll fancy that Eels game as one that they should be winning. I'm pretty sure it was the corresponding game last year, late in the year, that Parramatta towed up the Roosters. It was awesome. The Roosters have played a lot. Origin players have played a lot of footy lately. I think it was 3 games in 10 days or something. They're playing on a 5-day turnaround this week. The boys will then play Origin again, and then it'll be a 3-day turnaround to this one. Marky, because he missed a period, maybe he plays on the wing, but like I reckon Teddy probably rest that game. Just something to keep an eye on. But if you did buy Marky this week, then he missed 18, then 19, you'd be a bit annoyed. But yeah, look, I can't knock the buy this week. Definitely interests me, but I think I'm going to wait until after the Origin period for now. Number 2, I have an issue with, boys. It's Payne Haas at 633K.
You have an issue with Payne Haas every season.
Where's that coming from?
For the last 7 seasons. There's always an issue with you and Payne Haas.
We
What are you
completely
talking about?
agreed last year that Payne had become an absolute must.
I also started this year.
It took him 6 years. It took him 6 years to believe.
Yeah, well, it's not turned 2024 anymore, is it?
2021, 2020, Payne Haas was still a must-have.
Well, with his podcast,
He was a must-have in 2019. I captured him on my final week in 2019. That's how much faith I had in Payne Haas.
It nearly jumped you.
No, because he captained Gareth Whittier. Gareth Whittier.
Gareth Whittier.
If he'd had it on Cleary, he would have taken all the chocolates.
Huge. I remember.
Okay, well, Dezzy, at 633K, break-even 52. You buy Payne Haas this week with the 3 trades you've got left. You've then got, you'll miss round 18 due to Origin. He then misses round 19 with a bye and comes back in round 20 with Penrith, and he's returned from an injury. So if you'd like him for one game in the next month, you can grab him. You with your second most traded in player, so there'll be heaps of people with you. No,
I've got an issue with Payne Haas now as well.
No loyalty.
No, he's cheap at 633K. You got to expect people to trade him in at that price, even if you're only going to get a game or 2 over the next month.
The only reason you're doing it is if you're head-to-head, you don't pay the buys and you just want to shore up a win this week or something. So there's a head-to-head but just doesn't otherwise make
even
sense.
Then. Yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with it, but
no.
Yeah. All right, number 3 on the list.
Hold your horses, gang.
We've spoken about Alex Twal, haven't we? Just 3rd most traded in. Here's the thing. Payne Haas is 2, 12's number 3, which I don't agree with either. 780k, break even of 109. He might play 40 or 50 minutes this week. Like Newcastle in Newcastle, I think there's a world where Newcastle near enough full strength put a score on in this game.
Yep.
And there might not be a lot of ball in play. People are obviously Kaipi's Paul owners, Jackson Ford owners, Ford in particular, people moving them to these two guys. That's fine. You don't have to move them this week. Like we've got a full round of fixtures, 8 games. You shouldn't be short of talent this week in your squad. If you are, you've got bigger dramas to deal with. And
If you are, trade to someone, that's fine.
Sure.
But most of us probably don't.
no, shouldn't have
This
too many
week?
dramas this week that you need to do that. So I know for me, one of Ford or Kaipi's Paul, I'll be holding through to next week. And that's just because I'm waiting for the right time. And to be honest, I'll probably trade them beforehand, but there's a world where I hold Jackson Ford or Kaipi's Paul via Jules and go them to Payne Haas in round 20. Like you don't have to get rid of them just because they're injured now.
Definitely not on a week where, unless you need them this week, you just hold them for the week. I think a lot's going to come to fruition at the end of this round.
What was 12's injury again? MCL? Was it PCL?
It was one of the knees.
Was it MCL or PCL though?
I think from memory, and I could absolutely be wrong here, but I have a feeling I'm not going to say it because I could be wrong. It's just a physio how it would come back. I thought it might be okay. But I could be remembering.
We'll have Fish on beers and break evens tomorrow afternoon.
He'll let us know.
He'll let us know, the big fella. So, yeah, I just think if you're in no rush to sell Ford / Pierce Paul, that trade to 12 next week for the round 18 bye, you should get 12 at a reduced rate. See how he goes, see the minutes, see the output, bang, done. Easy. All right, Dezzy, this one for you. Suafa'alongo, number 4. Are you biting the bullet at 690k? I think there's about 28% of top-ranked coaches that didn't own last week. Moving or not?
No. I'm just gonna death ride him now. I've made my bed. I'm gonna live in it. And it's a bed with Tommy Turbo, Kalen Ponga, and Scott Drinkwater.
Good bed.
Yeah, it's a good bed, but it just doesn't have Sui in it, even though he's the best of the 3. He's got the goal kicking anyway, but even without the goal kicking, he's still kind of lighting it up. He's just, I saw Guru said he broke like 30 lines in 30 games or something. He's going at 1 line break a game for his whole career, and that's including some games where he only played like 10 minutes early in his career when he came on. So he's a line breaker. He's exactly what you want in Supercoach, and he's got huge ceiling on him, huge captaincy ceiling. Going into the end of the year, Melbourne are going to need wins. Yep. If they want to make that 8, want to make that 4 even still.
They're coming good.
They're coming good. So, the 6 agains are slowing down. Melbourne are starting to go up the ladder. Who would have thought?
Melbourne do have not the greatest run homes. Not awful, but they got a bye. They got Penrith, they got the Chooks. See how the Bulldogs are defending by then. Manly, so Brisbane Sharks. It's not like
Tough
not a slam
draw.
dunk. Yeah. That being said, he's on fire.
Realistically, he should be number 1 on this trade list.
With that draw, if Melbourne do regress to where they were earlier on in the season, I don't think it'll happen, but we don't know. That's where fullback roulette could come into play.
Absolutely.
Spy. Last one I want to touch. Actually, there's 2 more I want to touch on this list. Tony Suka. Him and did you end up pulling a trigger on a Tigers back rower last week?
We got Sione Fano for 80, the big fella.
2 tries.
Yeah.
No line breaks, but they both played 80. Suka in particular, he had 66 points. I think he had 60 odd in base alone. No Samuel Fino listed as around 20. He'll replace one of them on return. Kaipi's Paul going long term. Good start for those who jumped on Suka or Fino.
If I knew Suka was going to base 60 odd,
Yeah.
I would have bought him. Simple as that. I was wary of his spot and all that, and I didn't know he was going to play round 18, but based on Sione not being back for the bye next week, he looks like he'll probably be a pretty handy number who may then drop out if they can get full strength. So he's interesting. My risk last weekend was we don't know day to day, week to week, what his minutes and role are going to be, whereas I just have a little bit more faith in some other blokes to at least play the 80 minutes when we need him. But look, it's a good start. So if you need a downgrade.
I was tossing up between Finu and Suka, and then I saw a quote. Suka said, hopefully I score a lot of Supercoach points for the people bringing me in. And I was like, okay, got to go him now.
Done.
He's conscious of it.
He's conscious.
Yeah.
Will he get the offload out for us? Will he get the tackle bust?
Down 50 late, just forcing offloads out.
Yeah, Suka, if you're listening, come on.
Jackie Kiraz nearly has to be a Supercoach player, right? The way that he plays the game.
Absolutely.
Last one, boys, on this list I wanted to discuss was David Fifita at number 9. I'm a little surprised he's so high, and gee, this bloke's polarising when it comes to Supercoach. 555k, 66 average for the season, 47 break even, tries in his last 2 games with some decent scores. Watching him the last 2 games on return, knowing the price that he was at, the Bunnies buys are done for the season. I just sat there like, I just felt sick watching him and not owning him and going, should have I done it? What do I do here? I don't think he's going to come into my team this week. I haven't ruled out getting him in for next week, but I then look at a Parramatta matchup this week where he'll be running at Ronald Volkman, I assume, because Moses has been named. What do you think, Dezzy? Because my head says I probably don't need him. My gut says just get him, you idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this man turn into the Incredible Hulk before my eyes before. We know what he's capable of. The concern is he scored 65 and 79 with 2 tries.
Yeah.
Fifita Evolve would be turning up if he's
One try.
Yeah, I mean, 65 and 79 with 2
Tries.
tries.
Oh, sorry.
in each
Not in
race.
yeah, gotcha.
Did get an early shower against the Broncos, 59 minutes.
Mm.
But even in those games, 38 and 34 in base, on return from injury, but...
Yeah, he's just the one that I think you can afford to take a look at. I don't see him exploding for a 150 touch wood. Parramatta's the team to do it against. But Parramatta also are looking slightly better over the last couple of games.
Absolutely.
They're starting to come good. So they might give these teams some trouble. Fifita, he's just a guy that, it doesn't matter who's in front of him.
Yeah.
If they get the timing wrong on the tackle, he's just going to break through it. And then he can swat away 3 or 4 of them and go through. So, yeah. I love saying the saying running the gauntlet, but you're going to be running the David Fifita gauntlet without him.
Yeah. We'll get to my trade very shortly. I don't think I'm doing this week, but I think I might pencil him in for next week. I'm conscious of saving trades. I don't need... I've said this a few times.
Against Penrith next week?
Well, they'll be missing their Origin players, so
Sure.
major borrowing number. Maybe I get him this week. I also can find an injury, the big fella, so I think I'll wait, but my gut feels that he's also the kind of bloke, and I know we haven't seen this in a long time, but he can go on a run of an average 90 to 100 and just rip and tear. He like the last few years in Gold Coast Titans outfits that were ordinary. He also did that for maybe a while back. 2023, average 82, 77 in 2024. That was in ordinary, like awful Titans outfits.
Yeah.
He's playing in a rampant Bunnies attacking outfit. So,
But Wayne's just shown a willingness to bench him or taper his minutes. It's not the
Not
first
really.
time. It's not the first time it's happened this season.
mate, he's
Look.
averaging 74 minutes a game.
Yeah, but he's had only 4 games of 80, 3 games of not 80. So he's doing it in half the games he's playing. He's tapering the minutes.
Last week they were up by 40 against Brisbane, and he came back from an injury that had him out for 7 weeks.
Yeah, I'm comfortable he's playing 80 most weeks. Not to say he doesn't have his 65 in him on the given day.
He will play because they've got... I mean, the thing is, like Latrell's out, Campbell Graham's out, so Tallis Duncan's at centre. When Tallis is back to the back row, UNA can go to the bench. The Bunnies will get out some leads where he'll play 60 to 65. I guarantee it. But that's when they're leading games, and I think Fifita probably... There's every chance he's got a try or a line break or something in that time anyway. I think
still
he's
a minor concern, I agree.
Yeah. But the numbers are numbers, and he hasn't been that good this year, even when scoring tries, you said. So
Yeah, I mean, there's guys like Ryan and Toby Couchman who are putting up way better numbers without a need for attacking stats. So why not just go the safe option? That's what I'm thinking. When tackles are counted way more this season.
Des Creek, the
those
safe
tackle
option. That doesn't
Well,
sound like you, mate.
Toby Couchman, Ryan Couchman, they're,
everyone's
they're
got
safe
Ryan.
they're safe as hells. They really are. And Fifita he's just not safe at all.
Yeah, but like every man his dog owns Ryan Couchman. Toby Couchman, he's still a good buy, but like his last 2 weeks he scored 58 and 68, and he has little to no upside. The attacking side of me says Fifita over Toby.
But in the weeks before that, look at that. 81, 94, 94,
Yeah.
69, 75, 107. It reads a lot better than Fifita. All those scores are more than what Fifita has capped out this
Yeah,
year.
and Fifita's beaten in the last 2 weeks.
All right. Trade in Fifita then. Go for it.
I bloody will. Next
Anyway, you two, take it outside. I'm getting bored over here. No.
I'm just disappointed that Dezzy's chasing the safe route. He's normally Mr. Attack.
That's
I've brought
fair.
in enough pods this year, and they haven't worked out. I'm going sideways.
You're burned. What? You need to stick to your guns, mate.
I've gone for some like my team. If you look at it, has so many different differences to the template team. I've got players in every position that are kind of rogue or poddish players. I just need 1 week where they all kind of step up and have a big week, and I'll go up thousands of spots.
They owe you, mate. They owe you.
They do.
Boys, most traded list. We'll be very brief on this one, but Jackson Ford obviously injured. Tom Chester, I cut him last week. Happy about that. And Tommy Chester's one where I said you could hold him. He could be a 7-seated up for the run home. They've got a really good head-to-head finals draw, but he didn't even get a mention on our list from before. So there's just better in the position, despite Tommy Chester doing a good job. And I mean, there's other blokes like Kaipi's Paul injured. Pasco's hit a bit of a wall. We've spoken about him, so nothing too much of note there. Now, guys, the NordVPN play of the week, the security play of the week. He's not even playing that this week. That's how badly I want this bloke to be in the starting team. It's like we mentioned earlier, it's Tavita Nafahu. Might not be today, definitely won't be today. Might not be tomorrow, but he has Supercoach weapon written all over him. When I say security, I'm talking base and power stat beasts that don't need to find the attacking stat to secure you a strong score each week. Nafahu belled out 60 in base and power stats on the weekend. So should an opportunity come up at all where there's going to have to be an injury at the Dolphins this season for him to start, which blows my mind, he will be a buy. He's going to go nuts. And there will be an opportunity come next year, round 1. Keep your eye out. If you're after security online, look no further than NordVPN. We hear these horror stories of cyber attacks all the time. Like anything, the initial thought is always, that won't happen to me. Well, it happened to me last year, and I'd have given anything to have my private data protected online. I lost, get this for a list, cash, my mobile number, which meant my phone, email, social channels, bank cards, and a heap more. It rocked me to the core. Could have been avoided very easily had I been with NordVPN. It's premium cybersecurity for the price of a cup of coffee per month. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/SC Playbook. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description box. Trade and skipper plans surround 17 Spy. Hit us with your best.
Absolutely nothing, mate. I'm putting the feet up. It's time just to settle for 7 days, let Origin clear up and injuries and roles and all that. I'll make some moves as required heading into round 18 major bye week.
How many trades you got left?
I've got 11 left. So feeling all right with 11, but I don't want to get in too low too quickly.
Very good decision, Spy. I think it's a fantastic week to save trades. Dezzy?
I have Blake Trindle at 5'8", who is on the bye. My other 5'8's enough. So it's either make a trade and get the full 17 or run an AE. And running an AE is always risky. We still got I've still got a little bit of dead weights there.
Much money in bank?
About 130, 140K, something like that. So
Can I interest you in a little Fletcher Sharp?
Fletcher Sharp is interesting. Tamari Martin's interesting. No one else really is. It's just whether Fletcher Sharp, he scored 2 tries. He looked like he was going to go ballistic, right?
Tomato, get him in. Don't even think about it. Done.
Really?
Yeah.
You have him over Fletcher?
Yeah, easily.
Really?
I will say one thing in Fletcher Sharp's defence on the weekend. 2 early tries. I'm an owner, and I thought, all right, we are on here. The Dragons, they were susceptible early, very vulnerable early, I should say, and they conceded those tries. Watching that game, for the back 60 minutes of that game, they just gave them nothing. They completed, they kicked long, and they kept them in their end. The Knights did not get an attacking opportunity for about 60 minutes. They might have something there somewhere, but again, watching as a very eager Greg Marju owner, the Dragons gave them nothing. Caitlin Ponga obviously changed this a lot as well, but so the 74 for Fletcher Sharp, where you sit there and go 2 tries in that, like not great. I don't think they came with line breaks. I wouldn't be.
You're leaning Sharp. Spy's leaning tomorrow. I don't know. I was leaning tomorrow, but the Warriors players I've brought in, I just seem to have some bogey with the Warriors this year. Jahrome Jackson forward, brought him in straight for a 26, injured, bang, gone. Tained to a peaky, brought him in, scored about 35. Back.
Sharp gives you around 18 as well.
Can you not get either of Sharp or Tomato then, please? Find someone else.
Yeah, I'm absolutely ruining Warriors players who I bring in after
Stay
I
away.
talked a bit of shit about them, how they're not undeserving of their second position on the ladder. But I'll retract that statement. They deserve to be there.
To be fair, Dezzy, do you have any bludge enoughs on your bench?
Not
I'm
too
looking
bad.
at your AE situation for this week.
Not too bad. I think Setu 2, probably the worst looking one against Canberra in Canberra, and that's late. That's Sunday, 2 p.m. game.
That's all right. That's not a
So
bad
when,
game for him, though.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like with Trindle, he's a number next week for you as well. So maybe you just.
I'd only realized Trindle was only ever going to be a short-term play until Hines was back. And
Fletcher Sharp's
now he's
also the final game they had after Setu 2, so you could maybe sit on it and see how your AE
I
is
could,
looking.
yeah.
Ooh.
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, actually.
You're welcome, mate. I'll come up with a few every now and then.
All right.
All right, for the Stallions. Boys, again, I say this often, but the beauty of being able to write the run sheet for this and direct this show is that I can basically ask what I need to help with my decisions. A few CT dubs I was looking at this week: Dom Young, Tom Jenkins, Mark Nawaqanitawase. I think I've got Lasardi in my flex at the moment, and I've got Ford and Kai Pearce Paul. So I'm thinking of one of those two, whoever it is, it's irrelevant, to Tom Jenkins. The big reason of it is, aside from what Tommy Jenkins has done this year, Chance, Nickel Klukstad, not noted winger. It was his first game wing there potentially ever, at least in a long time. 4 tries down that exact wing that Tommy Jenkins is running this week against the Cowboys. Also could have been 5. There was a controversial run brought back as well for a forward pass or something. If Penrith at full strength off a loss to the Titans do what I think they'll do to the Cowboys, Tommy could have a field day. Straightforward, right?
Like it.
Yeah. Gives me an extra number for next week, which gets me to 14 for next week. All good players, so sitting all right. After that trade, leaving with 12 trades for the week as well. Matty, the Waterboy, trades and skippers.
Yeah, so I will get rid of Jackson Ford, obviously, and I'll probably just bring in Payne Haas, and that's it.
Very nice.
That's it.
Happy days.
I'm pretty.
After Timmy,
You snoozing over there while I was going on my anti-Payne Haas, right?
No, I was, but Payne Haas is a Rabbitoh, mate. So
Doesn't care.
Oh, all right. Cardinal and Myrtle shines above all. Captain Spy.
A VC Herbie into C Nathan Cleary because I held. So hope your rewards are faith.
I am very content with my Nathan Cleary sell because the concern was if he were to play last week, he'll have missed 4 or 5 weeks. I banked a lot of points in that time. I think the ranks have shown that. This is the week where, to be honest, if he can go sub 120, I'm like, nailed it.
Happy enough.
If he scores 130 plus, which is every chance against the Cows, with every man his dog captaining, that's where there'll be a little sting, a bit of a prickle in the trade plan. But nonetheless, misses 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm not even going to watch from behind the couch. I've accepted that he's going 120 plus, so be it. Dezzy?
yeah, I think I'll do something pretty similar. I might have a cheeky bite at. Yeah, it's just really hard to take the VC off Herbie, isn't it? Or it really is hard to take it off him. I could go for a VC Cleary into a C Turbo if I was feeling saucy. Battle of Brookie, I'll be there. 4 Pines Park against Melbourne.
It's raining on the weekend, FYI.
Yeah.
Slippery Turbo.
Wish it was raining in Townsville. Maybe it is. I'll
Sure,
check.
it's dry and slick up there.
And there's also the option of Ponga right at the end.
Oh, love that.
I love bloody oath.
I mean,
You got Cleary, yeah?
yeah, I've got Cleary. I've got all the big
The fact that
guns.
you've got Turbo, Cleary, Ponga makes me shudder.
Yeah. I'm going to have to put it on one of the fullbacks. Maybe sacrifice Herbie, even though I've basically had the captain on Herbie for
Mate,
all
VC
season.
Cleary into CKP, surely.
Or it's VC Turbo, bypass Cleary, VC Turbo and CKP.
You're getting turbo eyes, mate.
It's,
Yeah.
I know, but
Not saying he can't do it, but Cleary's got the Cowboys. It's not raining much.
Cowboys could show up.
Geez, I hope they do. All right, we'll work that out later. For myself, I do not have these luxuries this week. Squad is good. There's no alpha male in there this week that's going to do shit for me. Few options. I don't mind just a straight Herbie play. Day game. Warriors are good though. Like that's the concern at Suncorp. VC James Tedesco. I think he's crying out for a break, Teddy. So that worries me. But the Broncos, they're also up shit creek without a paddle. Suncorp Stadium. So maybe a VC Teddy into a C Herbie. I also don't mind a bit of an offset of the Cleary one of maybe a VC end or C on Tom Jenkins, my new man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't mind it.
I would be VCing Tommy for sure if I didn't own Nath already.
Yeah, so I could VC Tommy and see. Problem is they play late-ish. I don't really want to see Surat Brookie on Saturday night in wet conditions. Yes, maybe.
You know what? I would.
Yeah,
I actually would.
Why?
Because he's in form.
Mate, Manly are playing great footy. A night game in the wet at home. Battle of Brookie.
It scares me. Farlonga just scares me. He's just so scary to not own. He's turned into Pappenhausen 2.0. If you don't own him, you're behind the couch every game.
You disrespect your Manly boys there, mate. I reckon you're going good.
The odds say we're slight favourites, but don't trust it.
All right. That might do us, boys. The SC Playbook podcast for this week. It's been fun as always. Spy, thank you.
Thanks, fellas.
Dezzy, thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great week.